What's up, everybody? This is AlwayzCook24Podacst, and today we switching it up a little bit. Normally, you the interviewer, you asking the questions, you get down to the nitty gritty, trying to see what's what. Now, I'm normally the cameraman.
Yeah.
So we swapping it up. It's very rare you see me right now, you know what I'm saying? All day 8407. Y'all done seen the videos, y'all seen the mic drops. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tap in. Today, like I said, we switching it up. So, Cooks.
What up?
First and foremost, I want to know how long you been doing this podcast interview type stuff. I know this might be just a question that had you been hit with behind the scenes a plethora of times, but on camera, how long you been doing these interviews?
Oh, shout out to my cousin P.
Shout out to P.
You know what I'm saying? My cousin P, man. 2015. You know what I'm saying? When he had the studio in the back of his old house, we set it up. He set it up to do music in it, and we started creating the look like you have now. Rap City type of MTV vibe we had going on there, NBA Inside stuff. Like we had that type of
Yo
look in there.
MTV raps.
You know what I'm saying? Yo MTV raps type of look, you know what I'm saying? And 2015, I can honestly say is like when I really gave it a try and loved what I was trying to.
That's what my next question say. Like, at what moment was it for you that you realized yo, this is what I want to do? This is what I was born to do. This is what I was made to do. But I mean, before you answer that, let me just throw out the fact that it works for you because you're a people person.
Yeah.
So just kind of piggyback off that a little bit. In that moment, yeah.
I think the first time, and it's a funny moment too. The one time that I said I'm finna get off my butt and try to make this work was the Catch Me Outside girl.
How about that?
When I seen her on Dr. Phil and she did what she done, and then next thing I know, I saw her and her mama getting in and out of limos. I said, man, all that girl said was just catch me outside. And I'm like, yo,
people went crazy.
So I'm like, you know what, man, I'm finna try something, man. It inspired me. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try something. I'm just gonna try something. I've always watched TV shows as far as Carson, Arsenio, Montel, Donahue, Sally Jesse, Ricky Lake. I always watched them when Oprah first started. The first Oprah, when you could reach up on your seat and everybody got a prize. Like the first Oprah. I watched Morton Downey Jr. late at night.
That's a good one. I ain't
shows,
heard that in a long
you know what I'm
time.
saying? Like shows like that, and then game show hosts like Pat Sajak, Willery, my all-time favorite game show host Bob Barker.
Come on down.
The way that they emceed and talked to the crowd, as well as getting them to do shows. I saw it. Thought I saw it. And then Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Reading Rainbow. The way them shows.
Can I throw out one more too?
Yeah.
One of the laziest dudes of all time, Soul Train, Don Cornelius.
You know what I'm saying?
So
know what I mean?
Coming to the next to perform.
All the Rap City hosts.
Joe Claire, Big Les, Big Tigger.
The first one. Is it King something?
I can't remember.
The first dude. Shout out to the first ever host of Rap City. Shout out to him, because that's where it started.
Oh, also going way, way back. Shout out to Ralph McDaniel's Video Music Box.
Video Music Box.
You know. Video Music Box, for sure.
So, in all, basically where we're going with this part right here is that all the hosts, they made you feel welcome. They made you feel like, come on in. All them shows that we just called out, all them hosts, they made you feel welcome. At one point, they were somebody's favorite hosts. You know what I'm saying? Larry King. Like the way that they...
60 Minutes.
60 Minutes, dude. The Tom Brokaw, if I said his name right, the way they show interest in a topic makes the viewer interested too. And that's kind of where I got that magic from, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So, and me being a people person, it make it easier for me to talk to people because they know I'm not approaching them with no BS.
That's a fact. I could definitely vouch for that. One thing about you is you one of those people that you're not gonna open your mouth unless it makes sense. You're not gonna talk just to talk, which it's a lot of that going on right now. It's a lot of people that's trying to start podcasts. Everybody's an interviewer now. Everybody's a this or that or whatever. I feel like a lot of people just don't know their lanes.
You know what I'm saying?
They try to venture and try things, but some of that stuff just not for them.
It's not for them.
You know.
And shout out to Booker T as well, because Booker T, Booker T the wrestler. Booker T told me.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Yes, Booker T told me at an event that I had went to, a Comic-Con that I had went to. Shout out to Spade, my big brother Spade. You know what I'm saying? Because he took me, let me roll with him. And Booker T said, and Sister Spade. And what he told us was that, I asked him, I said, man, what's something that you keep with you when you do your podcasting that's always reign, that always prevail? He said, you got to be able to tell stories. He said, if you're able to tell a story and captivate and keep people interested, he said, you can do this, man. Of course, there's other parts of it, but if you're a good storyteller and you got people like wondering, well, what happened next?
That part.
You're in there. You know what I'm saying? So I had to throw that in there.
Reel them in. Yeah. And just to the names that you mentioned, to those people that inspired you, that's a hell of a big pot of gumbo that you just mixed up and kind of made it your own, so to speak. Yes. So for you to do that, I tip my hat to you. Man. And man, just keep going with it. And do my best. Back to to stay on the keep going. What's something that keeps you going with it? Like you've been doing this how many years you say? Since
2015.
2015. And we approaching almost about to be a 10-year anniversary with this. So if you could give out any advice or tips to anybody that's doing something, not just interviewing a podcast, but just to stay motivated to keep going. Like what's something that you do and something you could give them that keeps people motivated to just keep them doing what they doing?
Practice. Practice make perfect.
Absolutely.
Whether you are looking in the mirror or going out and doing it, I mean, practice make perfect. You know what I mean? Watching those that is successful in it. They might not look successful to other people, but they're successful to you because you're constantly going back and listening to them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Joe Rogan, the godfather of this, and also shout out to Joe Budden, the uncle of this right here. Because I watched them two come from the start. You know what I'm saying?
From Joe Rogan was Fear Factor, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when they started, it wasn't, the technology wasn't what it is now to what it was then. You know what I'm saying? Joe Budden was on one of the big head computers, the old style computers. That's how that started. He had a big hat all up on his head like this. Now he barefoot, foot crossed,
sandals,
but he writing checks.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Joe Rogan sitting back with a mouthful of tobacco. Tell me about the UFOs.
It's hard to believe that's the same dude from Fear Factor.
Yeah.
With the black hair and telling people to get in spiders and eat worms and all type of crazy stuff on Fear Factor.
And then to verses, my uncle was a deacon in church, and he never missed a Sunday where he stood up and spoke and grasped the crowd. My granddaddy was a preacher, and from the information I get, he was well known through the state of Alabama and in other states. Then my great granddaddy was a preacher, and he was 10 times, you know what I mean, as good of a preacher as my granddad. You know what I'm saying, was being. And then the first time I heard my granddad on the radio, I was like, man, he praying for the city. And
not just himself, or the family, as a city as a whole.
And the radio station invited him to come and Reverend Man, we say a prayer on the radio live. And to hear my granddaddy I'm probably 9, 10 years old, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and to hear that, and then be able to, and we heading to church to see him preach. To hear that, to see that, it inspired me. And to be for real, man, just the way I was raised, the positivity in me, the Virgo in me. You know what I'm saying?
Like speaking with the Virgo, I must say this, that y'all are some of the most passionate people, and y'all really fight for what y'all believe in.
Got to.
And you stand on business.
Got to.
And that's one thing about it. When you feel certain about something, that's real feeling, real emotion, and it comes off like that when you interviewing people.
Mm-hmm.
And just me being around you and seeing you are one of the best interviewers I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? One of the best.
Thank you, man.
You deserve your flowers, and I've seen you. I done put the pressure on you before so many times because I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
It's been interviews we done on the spot where it's like, yo, we got X, Y, and Z coming today. You be like, oh man, I ain't even prepared or whatever. And we done went outside. I give you a little prep talk. You put on that 24 jersey,
yeah,
and you get the win every time. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man.
You know, it's been times when, like, we done had certain guests where they be nervous and they don't know what to expect, and you just got a way of just them they're ready to take their clothes off, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They just take their shoes off, not get naked, but you get what I'm saying. They just get real relaxed. You know?
One thing I learned about that, you know what I'm saying, make that quick, this part quick. You gotta make people feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? Once you make a person feel welcome and they feel free, you know what I'm saying, now they feel like they can talk to you now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel like they being played, ridiculed. Mm-hmm. They don't feel like they being masterminded on. It's like, I'm just having a talk with a new friend I just had. You know what I'm saying? And they respect everything that I'm saying, no matter what race, what gender, what political party or whatever. No matter where you feel like you belong. When you sit with me and I ask you questions and I talk to you, I'm talking to you. Not your title, not your situation, not your whatever. I'm talking to you. And that's why I interview like I interview when I get a chance to. Because I want that person to feel like they're important before, during, and after.
That's what makes people want to come back.
Man.
You know, and it's just, like I said, me being behind the scenes, you know, a lot of times it's a lot of conversations that come after those interviews that y'all just don't see.
You don't get that.
You don't get that. That's the Patreon
that's the
type
Patreon
stuff right there.
Get the Patreon.
We gonna get there one day.
You hear
know
that?
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so what do you get from those Patreon type conversations? Because you know you have your episode. When I hit that button, you know, when that red button stopped, you know, recording or whatever, and you had those extra conversations. To me, it's surprising for me because, you know, certain people, they do what they do. They want to get the hell out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, everybody you interview, it's always been an extra conversation or two that come after that. So tell me a little bit about that without giving too much detail, but just, you know, in general.
Joe Budden taught me about dialogue. And he said good dialogue, no matter how it go, when it's done, it's over. Close that book up. I ain't no getting mad later on and this and that. This right here was just for this spread of minutes. So when I talk to the Patreon, you getting a private part of a story that we are letting flow out. Or whoever's there in the party of the conversation. That right there is, so a situation that happened, let's just say a situation that happened and you only get to see this part of it on this video or on the news or you hear that much in the street. So let's just say I sit with that party and now they're gonna tell what really happened because they was there. Because they was there. I'm gonna say that one more time. Because they were there.
It's a difference. We're not talking about the stuff the news might tell or what you might Google or whatnot. You hearing it from a source that was front row, that was either right there seeing it or was actually in the situation. So hearing it from that side, the conversation hits a little different.
That's what I'm talking about.
So before we even hit that record button, it's certain things you talk to people. I know this is about you too. You ask people, everybody that you ever had in front of you, you ask them, what can we not what can we not talk about? Let me know what to stay away from. And it's been people that have told you, I don't want to talk about X, Y, and Z and all that. So again, that goes back to you just making everybody feel comfortable. And as an interviewer, I feel like you dead wrong if you go against the grain and speak opposite of what they just told you. So
exactly.
And that's been done. People do that. Like you've seen it all the way back from 106 and Park, all your favorite shows, you done seen situations happen where people go against the grain and be like, yeah, I know he said don't talk about this, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna get views. I know it's gonna be.
And
That's destroying your character.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a certain podcaster out there now. I ain't gonna call it name, but you know what I'm saying. Even though he make numbers, and it's a he, and it's a white dude. Even though he make numbers, and even though people do click, I don't like it when past guests come back to just get revenge on me. Or I don't want past guests coming back saying, you act like this. Yeah. Now I'm sitting here. Act like that now. I don't want that. Like, them ain't the type of shows I want. I don't want that feeling. I don't want that energy. I don't want to have I got security right there. Or, yeah, if I reach over here and punch your mouth, you gonna sue me, ain't you? I don't want that. Like, I don't want that type of energy. I don't want to interview them type of people. And I don't want the interviewees to thinking that I'm that type of interviewer to where I got to take somebody's downfall and use it for news. I ain't gonna do it. It's a cat in the West Coast that's like that. He's still just like I tried to collab with this bro, and this is a brother right here. I tried to collab with this brother, and he using this same scenario to get view after view after view for more and more and more. I just wanted to have a conversation with him and collab with him about what he was talking about, because what he was talking about and the things that he found out from a source was actually interesting. But yet, he didn't want to give me no chance. But he started interviewing the celebrity, getting them to say this and say this and say that, and etc. But it's just, that's just how some podcasters are. Some use it for this, some use it for that, some are use this to make you think, oh, okay. Then when you come back, where mine at, they don't pay you no attention, because now they done went from a 50 to an 100, and you're not the part of the reason why their 50 went to 100, but you're part of the reason why they 0 to 50. See, they forget 0 to 50 because now they 50 between 50 and 100. You understand what I'm saying? I put it in an easier number form for y'all that's listening. 0 followers to 50. Them people right there gonna rock with you. 50 to 100, they just not catching on. Them people that started it with you at 0, it's the same people that's gonna rock with you and love you all the time, every day, on the down and on the up. I'll leave it alone.
Because even then, it's like, with talking about views, right? You can have, let's just say, let me throw a number out. You can have, I'm gonna just say, you can have 1,000 subscribers. You might not be seeing 1,000 views or whatnot, or whatnot, but you still have to continue to put on for those, them number 1, number 2, number 3, number 10, number 50. You know what I'm saying? People, because you got people that you never know whose day you making when it comes to this content, because it's a lot of people out there that can relate. It's a lot of people that just like me and you that just be like, you know what, I didn't think of that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think to even speak on it like that, because me being a content creator, it's so many people I've inspired throughout the years, and it's a conversation we had that it's gonna always stick with me. And you say, I would tell you, look at all the work you've done. You know what I'm saying? When you feel like I can't do this no more, or I'm not getting the clicks or whatever, sometimes you gotta look at your previous work. Look at your catalog. Look at the work you put in. You know what I'm saying? You can easily just be like, I don't want to do this no more. I understand. Life be lifing. But if this is what you want to do, and you come to that crossroads and feel like, I don't know how I want to go forward with this, just look at your previous work. Look at your body of work. Because I'm a prime example of that. You a prime example of that. I done told you multiple times. I said, Cook, look at your body of work. There you have. This is what you do it for. And make you happy, right? But keep on pushing that. Y'all stay tuned for part 2, man. AlwayzCook24, all day 84/7. Y'all stay tuned, man. Part 2 on the way. Tap in.